Hey, are you still awake? Good. Get comfortable. Pull the blanket up a little higher. Tonight I want to tell you about a mountain. Not just any mountain. One that some say still watches over the people who live near it. Some say if you look at its silhouette just right, you can see her face. This is the legend of Maria Makiling. Long before the towns had names on any map, there was a mountain in the province of Laguna, green and quiet, wrapped in mist most mornings. And living within that mountain was a Diwata, a guardian spirit. Her name was Maria. She was said to be breathtaking. Skin like polished narrow wood, hair long and dark as the forest at night, eyes that held both kindness and quiet sorrow. Even then, but it wasn't her beauty that the villagers loved most. It was her heart. Whenever the harvest failed, rice would appear at the edge of the forest by morning. Whenever a hunter lost his way, a soft voice would guide him back toward the light of the village. Whenever sickness came, herbs no one recognized would be left outside the sick child's window. No one ever saw her do these things. They simply knew. It was her. The people called her the Lady of the Mountain, and in their own quiet way, they loved her back, leaving offerings of fruit and flowers at the mountain's base, whispering their thanks into the trees. One day, a young hunter climbed higher into the mountain than the others dared to go. His name was Gatdula, or in some versions of this story, simply the hunter, because names over time have a way of fading. He wasn't chasing game that day. He'd heard the old stories, and something in him wanted to see if they were true. He found her by a spring, gathering herbs, her bare feet resting in the cool water. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then she smiled, not startled, not afraid, as if she'd been expecting him. "You climbed far," she said. "Are you lost?" "No," he answered. "I think I was looking for you." They talked until the sun dipped low behind the trees, and he came back the next day. And the day after that, Maria, who had given so much of herself to people who never saw her face, had finally found someone who looked at her, and only her. Slowly, quietly, she let herself fall in love. Maria asked only one thing of him, not gold, not gifts, not grand declarations. Never let greed guide your hand, she told him one evening. As they sat beneath a belay tree, the mountain gives freely, but it must never be taken by force or for gain alone. He promised, and for a while, he kept that promise well. Through him, Maria helped the village more than ever before. Crops flourished. Wells stayed full even in drought. Hunters returned safely, their bags never empty. The village prospered, and people began to whisper about how he alone seemed blessed by fortune. But prosperity has a way of changing what people ask for. Soon, it wasn't just rice or herbs the village needed. It was more land, more harvest, more gold from mountains' hidden veins. And the hunter, perhaps to please his people, perhaps to prove his own worth, began to ask Maria for more than she had ever offered anyone. At first, Maria gave gently, the way she always had, but the requests grew heavier, more frequent. "Just once more," he would say, "for the village, for us." Then came the day soldiers arrived, seeking passage through the mountain, not to ask, but to take, to clear land, to claim what they believed was simply there for the taking. And the hunter, torn between his promise he made and the pressures around him said nothing to stop them. He let them pass. Maria watched from the tree line as they tore through land she had protected for generations. She watched the man she loved stand beside them, silent. It wasn't the soldiers that broke her heart. It was his silence. "You promised," she said to him when they were finally alone. He had no answer that was good enough. There rarely is in moments like that. And Maria understood, in that quiet, aching way, that love sometimes ends, not with anger, but with the slow realization that someone was never quite who you believed them to be. Maria did not curse the village. She did not send storms or sickness in revenge. That was never who she was. Instead, she simply withdrew deeper into the mountain, further from the paths people once walked freely. The rice stopped appearing at the forest's edge. The lost were no longer guided home by a soft voice in the trees. Some say she wept for 100 days, and that the springs on the mountain swelled with her tears. Others say she simply grew quiet, the way people do sometimes. After loving someone who let them down, the hunter searched for her for the rest of his life. He climbed the mountain again and again, calling her name into the mist. She never answered, not because she didn't hear him, but because some promises, once broken, can't simply be spoken back into place. To this day, people say if you look at the outline of Mount Makiling from just the right distance, you can see the gentle curve of a woman's face lying back, looking up at the sky. Her forehead, her nose, her chin resting against the horizon. They say it's Maria, still there, still watching over the land she once loved so freely. Some hikers still leave small offerings at the mountain's base, not out of fear, but out of respect. A quiet way of saying, we remember what was given and what was lost, and perhaps, in some small way, a promise that they, unlike the hunter, won't take more than what's freely offered. So the next time someone tells you a mountain is just a mountain, remember Maria. Remember that some places hold more than rock and soil. They hold promises, and sometimes they hold heartbreak too. Now, close your eyes. That's our story for tonight. Good night, and sleep well.
If you're a 90s kid and you remember this legend, comment Maria below. And if there's another legend you'd like to hear, just let me know so that I can feature on my next episode.